Jesus freak here. So, there's some weirdness with a couple of the scripts the doctor wrote me yesterday. So, back to Walgreens and see what it's about. I know one of them, they prescribed the wrong version of a pill. Is it, they prescribed a certain special version of the pill instead of the usual one, and they'll only cover the normal one. So they got that resolved, but it was right before the pharmacy was going to close. And then in the morning I got another alert saying we get a problem with another one of your scripts with the insurance, and I think I know what the problem is. You see, when I told the lady I was kind of skeptical of statin drugs like Lipitor, she said, we got this other thing we can write for you, but it's basically glorified fish oil. And if it is just fish oil, there's a good chance Medicaid to say, yeah, no. They said, she was like, given what you said about your grandparents both dying of massive strokes, there's a good chance, nothing you do to fix your diet's really going to help all that much. Because it's not what you eat that's causing the problem. Which is not the kind of thing I've usually heard from, a doctor's usually going to blame the patient for everything. Anyway, given that the other one that they wrote a script for is just Claritin D, I didn't expect they'd be able to cover that at all either, but apparently they will. Maybe it's a stronger version or something. Wait. I had them use the pharmacy that's directly up the street, and this is why, you're seeing me basically walk the same way I walk the Tops, except I'm not crossing the street, because Tops is on the other side of the street. Walgreens is on this side of the street. So I don't have to cross the street. Except, I have to cross the arterial. That's a different matter. Anyway, I do have some money in my wallet. If push comes to shove, I might be able to, buy something comparable out of pocket instead of if it's something that insurance doesn't cover, but it's something that ain't exactly expensive. As I said, I joked about memes related to fish oil from, before my day. They used to almost treat like cod liver oil as a panacea or something. On a different subject, last night and this morning I decided to try something I had found at Wegmans when I was grocery shopping. I was like, what's Taylor ham and how would someone typically eat it? So I bought some. I looked up how it might be used. Apparently, the one particular way to use it is like on a breakfast sandwich. So I did that. And honestly, you know, I'm like, if I look at this stuff and I really think about it, well, Taylor ham or pork roll, you know, the original name was Taylor ham, but they had to change it because the laws changed and they weren't allowed to actually call it a ham anymore. But, you know, in this state where it comes from, people were split. Half of them kept calling it Taylor ham and the other half kept calling it pork roll. So, and if it reminds me of anything, it reminds me of something called Krakowska. It's basically, it's not quite a ham and it's not quite a sausage. It's shaped like a sausage. It tastes like ham, more or less. It's kind of like an American Krakowska. And yeah, you might get on my case about, oh, you got high cholesterol, you're eating fried eggs. It's like she said, you know, well, changing my diet really isn't going to affect things. And probably won't. Because I've read, you know, a lot of this stuff about, oh, eggs aren't healthy is, you know, there's always some derp out there saying, you know, this ain't healthy, this ain't healthy. You know, if you listen to them, nothing's healthy. And I said, you know what? If there's one thing I think is more important than anything else about how I eat, it's that I actually eat food. Because a lot of that junk, you know, a lot of that stuff that especially Americans tend to eat, it's not food. It's heavily processed junk masquerading as food. Anyway, Jesus freak out.